Same thing with the 4 fingers when you're in an app and if you want to copy something, you can take 3. Now you have your 2 different safaris on. Hey guys, how are you? My name is Anna and welcome to today's video. So if you watched my last video, you know that I got the new iPad Air 4th generation. So today I just wanted to talk about all the tips and tricks that I have discovered in the last few days. I won't keep this intro long, we'll jump right into it and I hope you guys enjoy it. Alrighty, so my iPad is really basic right now. I haven't really had time to customize it, but we'll just start off with gestures. Now, there are the more obvious gestures that everybody knows, such as if you pull all the way down from the top, you get notifications. If you pull down from the middle, you get the search bar. If you pull down the right-hand corner, you get the control center. And if you scroll all the way to the left, you get your widgets, such as calendar, weather, battery, whatever you decide to customize it with. So besides those obvious ones, there are a few hidden ones, such as when you're in an app and you want to get to your home page, you use 4 fingers. Doesn't matter if you use your thumb or your pinky, and you pinch in. Now there are 2 possible things that can happen. If you pinch all the way in like that, it'll bring you to the home screen. If you pinch in just like a little bit, it'll bring you to this page here. It does take practice with the 2 different types of pinches, but once you do it once or twice, you get the hang of it pretty quick. Same thing with the 4 fingers when you're in an app and you want to switch between all your open apps. You just scroll with 4 fingers, and again, doesn't matter which fingers. Now, let's say you're using a keyboard for whatever reason. You can take your keyboard and pinch it in, and it'll become a smaller floating keyboard, and you can move it around by this control bar over here. And then when you want it to be big again, you just pinch it out. Now, it is sometimes difficult to pinch it in and out, so you can click and hold this keyboard button and click floating. And then if you want to make it the big keyboard again, you just drag it down to the bottom like this, and it'll become the big keyboard. If you want to copy something, you can take 3 fingers and pinch in, and then to paste it, you just take your fingers and you pinch out, and you can see it copied what was highlighted. This one does take a little bit of practice. It's a little bit hard for me to still like pinch in completely and pinch out in order to paste it. But once you get the hang of it, it gets easier. Now if you take your 3 fingers and you swipe to the left, it'll undo what you just did. And if you take 3 fingers and you swipe to the right, it'll redo what you just erased. So to the left is undo, and to the right is redo. So one of the coolest features of the newer iPads is the split screen, and a lot of people use it for studying. But since I'm not in school right now, and I've only had this iPad for a few days, I've been using it mostly for guitar, and I am pretty much a noob, so while I'm playing, I still like to have these pictures of the chords in front of me. So this is just one example of why split screen comes in handy. I screenshot this, and then to do a split screen, you take this bar right here. You don't want to all the way scroll up because it'll take you out of it. What you want to do is just lightly scroll up to get your dock. And then I'm going to take the photo app, and you want to click and hold it and drag it onto here. I have the chords that I screenshotted there, and you can also take this tab and make this smaller and this bigger, however you want it. And then to exit out of it, if you scroll to the right all the way, it'll get rid of the tab you have on the right. If you scroll all the way to the left, it'll get rid of the tab on the left. So you just scroll it out, and then it's gone. So then if you want something else, you scroll lightly up to get your dock, and then you click and hold the app that you want, and you put it up here. Another cool way you can split screen is by splitting the same app, and you'll see what I mean here. I have been doing it a lot in Safari. So if you click and hold the 2 document icon right here, and you press open new window, now you will have 2 different web browsers that you can scroll on both. So you can like be on YouTube, but also on Google. This can come in really handy when like you're doing research or studying and you need to have 2 different browsers up to compare and contrast or something like that. Let's say you already have 2 tabs open and you want to create a split screen. You just hold the tab and you bring it over to the side. Now you have your 2 different Safaris on there. Then again, to get rid of one, you just take the bar and you slide it all the way to a side. So that is the split screen, but there's also this thing called the slide over function. So if you don't want it to split screen completely, I'll go back to the guitar thing. Let's say I'm playing guitar and I also want to have Safari up in case I want to Google some of the chords. So I'll have this up here. I don't want it to be split screen because I want to get rid of it when I don't need it. Now you just move it over to the side, and to get it back, you just scroll back. Now let's say I want to be checking my text messages during this. I'll also take the text messaging app and put it up there. I'm not going to do that because I have a bunch of phone numbers in there, but let's just put my email up there. Now I have my emails here, so I can move over to the right and then it's hidden. But if I bring it back to the left, it's there. But I put it on top of the Safari. So just like on the iPhone, if you scroll up, you have both of them and you can switch over. So again, I have my guitar chords up here. Let's say I want to check my email, but also my Safari is up there so I can Google chords, and again, hide it to the side. And you can add more than 2 tabs up here so you can kind of multitask and get rid of them. And now if you want to get rid of one of them completely so that they weren't hidden to the side, they were completely gone, again, you kind of scroll up on that and you just swipe it up like on an iPhone to get rid of that tab. So what I'm about to show you now is probably one of the coolest things I think that this iPad offers. So a lot of the times when you go on youtube.com and you click on a video, it'll right away bring you to the YouTube app. So you're going to need to play around with some settings to do what I'm about to show you. You click these double A's and you want to click request desktop website. Then you want to click on the double A's again, go in website settings and make sure that the request desktop website is clicked. Now you're going to play whichever video that you want, make it full screen, and then you're going to click this button right here, and now you have it down here. But that's not even the coolest part. Now you can exit out of that and you have the video here. You can move it around. So let's say I want to have my guitar chords out, but I also want to play the song at the same time that I'm playing here. I have the video and I have that. Let's say you're playing music on the YouTube video, you can just move it over to the side. It's a hidden tab, but it's still playing the volume, so you can do whatever it is you want to do on the iPad, but the YouTube video is still playing to the side, which I thought is super cool. And then to get rid of it, you just make it the full size and just exit out of that browser. So another cool thing that I found out when you're customizing your desktop, if you click and hold the app, of course that's when they start to kind of wiggle and you can move them around. But if you want to move around multiple apps at the same time, you click and hold one and then click all the ones you want to move, and then you can move them all at the same time, which is pretty handy. So with the fingerprints, you can only put a limited amount of fingerprints on the iPad, but if you're sharing this iPad with somebody, what you can do is go on to add a fingerprint, and this is where the Touch ID is, and on every time you have to place your finger, just put in a different finger. And now as you can see, it reads my pinky, my ring finger, my middle finger, my pointer finger, and my thumb. So that's a way that you can get around the limited amount availability for the fingerprints, or if you don't want to take the time and make each single individual fingerprint, you can just bang it out all at once with all 5 of your fingers. So another thing I've been loving about the iPad is the Apple Pencil. So it is a magnet to the side, which charges over there. So one really cool thing about it is if your iPad is locked and you have your pencil, you can just tap on the screen like that and it will automatically bring up your notes in case you want to really quickly just start scribbling some notes that way. Another cool thing is if you take your Apple Pencil and just from any corner drag it up, it will screenshot, and then you can also go ahead and mark it up. So it doesn't matter if you do it from the left-hand screen or from the right-hand screen, it'll screenshot it that way, and I feel like it's much easier than pinching the 2 buttons on the side. So another cool thing about the Apple Pencil is if you see here, I'm writing right now, but if you double tap on the side, it switches it to the eraser, and then you can erase real quick. So you can actually change this in your settings. If you go to the settings and you click on the Apple Pencil, you can switch it between current tool and the last one used, and you can also do show color palette, which means you're writing on here and then you double tap, it'll bring up the color palette. So if you're drawing something and you want your colors to be up quicker, you double tap it and all the colors come up. But I like to have it between the current tool and the eraser for myself. So another amazing thing that I love about the Apple Pencil is the write to text. If you click this one right here with the A, whatever you write, it'll transfer it over to text. And you can also move around these little settings for the pencil as well. And also with the Apple Pencil, they made this thing where if you draw shapes and you hold them, it'll transfer them over to like a perfect shape. Same thing with lines. If you click and hold, it'll make them straight. So even if they're a little squiggly, click and hold, it'll make them straight like that. So with the Apple Pencil, some cool things are if you scratch it out like this, it will erase it. And then if you circle it, it will highlight it. What you can also do is cross it out like this and it'll highlight it. Then let's say you want to conjoin these two together, you just draw a line down the middle. If you want to split something, you also draw a line down the middle and it will split where you drew the line. Now, if you want to insert something with the Apple Pencil, you click and you hold where you want it. It'll make a space and it'll go in there, and then that's how you insert something. If you forget that stuff, you can go over to the settings, Apple Pencil, try Scribble, and it will show you how to do that. To delete, again, you scratch something out. To select it, you draw a line over it or you circle it. So another cool thing that you can do on the notepad is if you search for something, it'll find it for you even if it is handwritten with the Apple Pencil, which will come in handy when you use the Apple Pencil. So I hope you enjoyed all those tips and tricks. Of course, there's probably a million more out there that I haven't discovered yet. So if you know some tricks that I haven't talked about, leave them down in the comments below so that other people can learn from your comment. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.